Okay, I hope I fixed it. I hope I fixed it. I hope you guys are back. Let me just see what's going on here. It should be working right now. It was simple human error. My Roomba pulled it out and it didn't work. Is this? Where is my live streaming? Is anybody here? And I'm boiling. Okay, okay, yay, yay, yay. Just give me a sec. Getting the Kleenex. Okay, so let's do it. The second take over here. Yes, it works, it works. Greetings, greetings. Just give me a second, putting my hair up. Putting my hair up. When you have as much hair as I do, it kind of gets really warm. All right. What I was saying to myself is I'm getting 2 karma cards. I'm getting past life relationship and I'm getting universe. Whenever past life turns up, it is really always talking to me about something that needs to be resolved this week. So, and this one as well, karma accomplished. Whether or not it's going to be something big or something not so big. Good morning, everybody. So, I was just giving an example, right? Because for a year and a half, I'm dealing kind of like with my dad, and situation can be really upsetting at times, and I started to have an extremely short fuse, right? And he starts to scream, I start to scream, and then you go nowhere. So I have made a decision this year. I'm just simply not going to be reactive anymore. Forget it. You know, like, this is upsetting me too much. If it gets to this point, I'll just like walk away, or, you know, it will have to be handled some other time. I'm simply not going to cave into anybody's hysteria, right? Honestly, and it kind of like works. It really works good for me. I don't know if it works for somebody else. It could be just simply one of those things that you're going to make some kind of like resolve about something, and you're going to realize how big this is at some point, right? Okay, so let's start with Capricorn, and happy birthday, Capricorn. I saw the Capricorn in the house, and I hope everybody's having a lovely Saturday. Thanks, Temperance. And where is my Lati? Where she didn't show up, but we have Dean. Good morning. We have Temperance Rising. I saw Brooklyn before, so we have few of you. So Temperance Rising, are you staying here for the entire hour? So if you do, please be the one who kind of like awards a reading. So what is the reading? Reading is just a simple sample reading. You give me an area of your life, and it's like anything, 10 to 15 minutes, so you can get a flavor for it. And the winner will have to put their email over here, so I know when the form is filled out, which they have to do it also, that this is them, so we kind of like know it for sure. Okay, thank you. So Temperance is the moderator in charge. Alrighty, so let's go with Capricorn. Capricorn, what's up for Capricorn this week? And you're having a 6 of Swords. You're definitely, there's like something that you are unlocking in your head, and I think you may have had a situation that you really didn't know how to react. The situation could be something where you, very much like my situation with my dad, it was like sort of like not having any solutions, so you had to figure it out how to work it. It's kind of like stuck where you really cannot walk away, but it looks like you're actually getting away from something, at least in your own head. And that lack of clarity which the moon brings all of that weird, you know, things where you see a leaf moving and you think, you know, it's a robber or stuff like that, right? So when this reverses, like, we are kind of like starting to see that light at the end of the tunnel, because both cards are telling me, yes, there is that motion forward, there is like that essence of something needs to change. So that is really, really important. Capricorns, you are literally having enough of something. You just want to change something, and kind of like this is going to be a week of choices, and maybe even choices where you're going to do something, let's say, in spite of things, sort of, right? Well, I tried this before, I'll try it again a little bit differently. So kind of like, really, I'm not an idiot kind of a thing. So let me see an angel card. What spirit messages do you have? And happy birthday, guys. Whoa, 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 whoa. That could be love decision. And it could be that you have somebody who really resonates with you. Maybe it's a love kind of like tension relationship. I don't want to say love hate, because sometimes you love people and you just cannot live with them. And that kind of like seems to be self-evident. This actually sometimes talks about making a decision about relationship. For those of you who are single, who are looking, that can be interpreted differently. That actually means, and I should probably give you a little bit more off a table, that there I go, I hope you see it. That actually means that you might actually meet somebody who is going to be it, and it could be somebody who simply is going to kind of like push you in a new direction. That person actually can be a water sign. That person can be Pisces to be in particular, but can also be Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, or Scorpio. That kind of like, and it could be also earth sign as well. It is kind of like lots of potential over here to kind of clear something, and this new person is not going to have the effect of certain kind of like let's say circumstances that you had in the past. So who is next? So we have Virgo and Taurus. So let's go with Taurus. Hello, Have. How are you, Have? How are you, Have? Okay, Taurus. Taurus is actually, it's kind of interesting. We are having similar idea over here. I'm heading down to my dad after the live. So Taurus, you got a bundle here. I wanted to make it fast, but Taurus is saying, nope, you're not making it fast. So look at this. This is the card of ships, right? The back is turned to us. So Taurus is sort of like having maybe issues with something in their house, something in their family. That could be the issue with, you know, a male figure there, or with a child, or it could be simply that certain things need to be reconfigured to be different, right? So interestingly enough, because that really talks about finalizing something, where here for Capricorn it could be finalizing relationship and maybe starting new, or simply starting new relationship that is going to be built differently. For you guys, it could be something about inheritance. It could be something about how you're moving forward with who you are. Who is your friend? Who is your enemy? Sort of you're trying to sort these things in your head. You guys might feel that people from your family might not be coming forward to sort of like help you, whatever your ideas are, right? And hence you will be reconsidering how to basically continue with these people. So let me just see over here. Angel card for you. It just came out on its own. Depth. That's interesting. So the depth card, it shows somebody who is snorkeling and jumping in. So I really think that you're at this stage really needing to have, and this kind of like is the card of the depth. Given that this is earth and you have such strong earth and fire, which actually does go along, and the depth is almost like that you'll try to clear some issues of some kind. And that could be a father and child situation, or a mother and child situation. Somebody might be leaving home, kind of a thing. Somebody might, and just might, lose a job, and it's going to be a problem. But actually, it's going to be a blessing in disguise, because something new, much, much better will be actually brewing. So I really wouldn't really get upset about that long term. Any furlough employees over here that are here, I don't know, like, I mean, if this is kind of like really referring to that, because it looks like they're still going to be kind of like feeling stuck. But the depth is a really good card. It means like you're willing to dig deep to really figure out what really bothers you and how to resolve it. Okay, so who is the last Virgo? I mean, last from Earth, Virgo. Hi, Michael's Tarot. I have like tarot people here. It's good. Okay, Virgo, the Hierophant, which is the marriage card. So let's see what is this all about. What the heck? Let me get one more just to make sure. I got a few more. Actually, this one is really the main one, but I don't know why this was hiding behind it. Was there some kind of like indecision that you were trying to reach and you have not been able to? You were waiting for the circumstantial kind of like evidence or certain things to line up. Maybe you had to recover from some kind of like thing and face the situation. The Hierophant also can refer to rules, not necessarily your own private rules. Okay, societal rules, not so much about the laws, but sort of like moral rules, and that's why it's shown as a religious leader. It can be sort of like a moral compass of some kind of like kind. In any case, you're going to have really kind of like feeling of victory in this particular week, which is really, really good. Kind of like maybe getting together with friends, feeling comfort. Maybe you haven't done that in a while. Maybe kind of it was like something that you have been stuck in, and now you're opening a completely new direction and new circumstance, and I kind of like really, really like that. There's like the essence over here that maybe this is kind of like conquering your own stuff. You know, I was blind and now I can see. Remember, that's kind of like lyrics from Amazing Grace. So it is just like kind of like that, and it's going to feel so much lighter and so much brighter in your life. So let me just see here. Okay, understanding. Maybe you had a fight with someone who who maybe betrayed you. Maybe you didn't know what to do. Maybe this person was not around. And something, as I said, is shifting. You're looking at things differently. You're looking if maybe, you know, there were other people, other circumstances, other rules, other things that had to happen. So, for example, this card would show up if somebody has an affair, let's say with a married person, and the married person is maybe separated person, let's say, and then things are going forward and planning starts to take place, but then that person is sort of like looking at his or her kids and thinking, my gosh, I just cannot do that, and they just really go back and try to repair their relationship, and then you feel devastated. But this is then saying, hey, you know what, now you're kind of like understanding this bigger picture, and also understanding, hey, note to myself, do not date separated, do not date married people, kind of a thing, but you're going to feel really good about it. You're going to feel kind of like really a release from it. Okay, so the next, who will I do the next? I think last time I did water, so I'll do fire this time. We'll do fire next. We'll do fire. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. I'll do fire. I don't know where is Latia. I hope she's okay. She didn't tell me. I don't think it's a problem, so maybe it is her, maybe it is her, what do you call it, internet, right? So let's do it. What am I doing? Fire, 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 fire. And we have release your ex. Okay, when is the full moon? I just need to check when is the full moon. I think we just had new moon. Full moon January 2019. It's going to be 21st, so it's the beginning of Aquarius. Okay, so there is going to be something actually brewing for you for the next 9 days. Fire. Okay, fire, 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 fire. Heartache and loss. Oh my goodness. Release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. Very similar. it is like almost like reaching out, trying to figure out a solution, but kind of like being pulled back in. This card, heartache and loss, is like my dreaded card. It actually, I don't know if you can see it over here, it almost shows that her gut is hurting. It looks like almost like it's a heart is in my stomach, sort of, you know, that sinking feeling. But there is like also that line over here, like that kind of cutting feeling over here, right? She almost kind of like looks like the way I would look if I lose some weight. So this is really, really interesting because it kind of like really talks about trusting yourself. It really talks about maybe some words that you have heard, or some kind of like idea that because of that you couldn't move forward. And I really think that some of you are still having either, you know, what they call it, baggage, that kind of like carrying it around in order to move forward, or, you know, that somebody really, really hurt you. And I'm really sorry if this is the case, but this is asking you to release it. And I know it's not as easy as pushing the button. So in this little book, they're actually suggesting, that's why I looked up when it's full moon, that you actually comprise a list. And this list has to be done sort of like releasing this and this and this. And then you have 9 days to comprise this list, and then you burn it during the full moon. Do not take a picture because you're keeping it. Again, so simply burn it, and the energy is released. But for those of you who definitely want to kind of like figure out how to make this lighter, that heartache and loss, or, you know, maybe you're dealing with somebody really, really close that you feel that you're not connected, you're feeling this way, that's kind of like really, really kind of like important over here. So I'm a little bit worried over here. So let's start with Leo here. Let's start with Leo. Leo. Richa, this is, as Dean told you, general. Private reading is a personal questions. It's not right to answer here private questions. There are lots of people over here, so we are just doing this general. But you can kind of get a sense because your energy is contributing, so that's definitely beneficial. Okay, so let me see. Leo. Let's go, the king of the jungle. And happy new year to those of you I didn't see before. Let's make a really good one. And by the way, for everybody, this full moon ritual is really valid thing. It really works. It's like simple, just like dusting your home. All right, Leo, what do we get for Leo, and why is this happening for Leo? And there it is, the world reversed. It does make sense. Leo, who are you dealing with? Are you dealing with a water sign? Are you dealing with Scorpio, Aquarius, Taurus, or Leo, or an earth sign? There is like this essence. When I see the world reversed, I'm not happy. I'm not happy because that's the karma card. That is the karma card of moving forward. We just had it in the reading for Earth, right? And the the universe card, you see that kind of like infinity. And this is about something from the past reappearing in the present and needs to be dealt with, but it's really hard. Maybe there are like not all the elements that you can deal with. Maybe, you know, somebody that you really need to deal with is all of a sudden behaving properly, but there are like some things that you feel that are buried deep down, and maybe this really talks about that headache and loss. Maybe you are depending on somebody to release their ex. There is like something, some history when the karma card shows up. It is a very karmic period, but it looks like this can be actually as well. You, King of Cups, can talk about, hey, you know what, this is gentle, and, you know, come here, like, I mean, put your head on my shoulder kind of a thing. You're going to be okay. So it looks like you're going to get that kind of like really soft, very, very nice, candy soft place to kind of like really feel comfortable with. But you really need to release something from the past. So that's really, really important for you in particular. So are you asking me, Have? Do you think Alex Graham Bell's wife used to complain about him being on his phone all the time? I don't know, like back then people didn't marry for the same reasons, and it was like wife in the kitchen and man over there. So Depends if she like him. Yeah, if she didn't, no. Intention. So it looks like lots of things here for you. Release your ex is also intention. It's kind of like writing that list, performing that ritual. But intention here is like zoom. Where do you want to be? What do you want to accomplish? Are you... and what hurdles do you have to go over? This is literally almost like telling you, look, if you kind of like continue to dwell in this heartache and loss, because this is sword card, that means it's in your head, right? Because it's asking you to go in your heart. It's asking you to kind of like feel it more. And that's why you are kind of like showing up here. Show this like big lion heart, because that kind of like element of gratefulness and graciousness and kindness is actually going to lead you out. So sort of like it's going to do the best of you. Yeah, I know that he invented the phone. So that's why we have Bell Company over here in North America that nobody cares about anymore. So who is next? Leo, make this intention. So let's go Sagittarius next. Sagittarius. Any Sagittarius in the house? 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 How was your week, guys? How was everybody's week? Sagittarius, you have Knight of Pentacles, and these two wanted to talk to me. So, look at that. Knight of Pentacles, and we have a Queen of Swords, and we have Seven of Pentacles. So, who wants to go forward, and who doesn't? Or are you going forward by removing certain things from the past? That can simply talk about that. That kind of like you are making that decision. That's it. I'm cutting things off. Certain things will not grow. And I need to understand this. I need to build my own life. And, you know, this is definitely my friend card. It's kind of interesting that I see people over here in the readings. So it almost looks like that there is like some person. It's not only just, you know, winter blues, so we wake up, it's a dreaded weather, especially here in North America, but it's kind of like there's like somebody who is on our mind that is maybe messing us up. You guys are totally kind of like cutting somebody off, something that is not growing. And there is like this friendship over here, sort of like maybe either dedication to kind of like very pragmatic things, or maybe somebody's cutting you off and you're feeling that you need to compensate by being nicer, so it can be seen that way as well. Kind of like you're seeing somebody, somebody's definitely cutting something off, minimizing things that are not fruitful. But this is kind of still encouraging that, you know, certain things maybe need to be rebuilt, but they are going to be built really slowly. And slow is not the speed that you guys like. But I like the fact that you're getting out of that, you know, loss kind of like frame of mind here. There you go. Understanding of the things. It is clearly like, I mean, aha moment over here. It is like something really spiritual that is really happening. There is like a push to go forward here as well. It's going to start going very slow, given that you like this kind of like racing speeds. It might feel like you're stuck in the spot, but trust me, you actually are moving forward. So it's just going to start kind of like lately, kind of like slowly going in. So that's going to be really, really interesting. Sorry, Temperance. Sorry. Who I didn't do. Aries. Look at those Saggies and Saggies rising. They are telling me your feedback. Glad to see that. Okay. Saggies. Well, we did Earth signs. I think that you can, on that little red bar on the bottom, kind of like go back. I think I did put it back. So you can go back and check Earth, which was first. Aries. Who is Aries here? Aries. Oh my goodness. Aries. What's going on here? Look at that. You are not, I'm sorry, I have to tell you, it's going to be something about marriage, about something really serious, or it could be about somebody from the past that maybe you spilled too many tears. And there is like this sense of cutting things off. You're having a Five of Cups reversed, and the Sun reversed, and the Hierophant reversed. Maybe something that was conventional, that you wanted to be conventional, didn't end up being conventional, or it's not resulting in this like path where you want it to be, where you really wanted something to be serious. There is like this really essence of loss. So guys, I will not sugarcoat this. It's going to be a tough week, and yeah, like I definitely think you kind of like need to understand that kind of like being in the sun, taking your D vitamin might minimize maybe winter blues, kind of like how you deal with this. And maybe you have to start looking into what in the future you really need when you're like creating this list, in order not to get trapped with people who are either not willing to maybe commit. Maybe you wanted to commit, somebody else didn't want to commit, or vice versa. Or somebody was committed in this relationship, but not to you, but to somebody else. Because this card can definitely talk about a third party, and I kind of like see it over here, to be honest. Or somebody else's issues became your issues, and you really hate when it does it. It feels like, oh, let me be a satellite around you, so you tell me how I can live my life when you're ready. And this is not in your nature, guys, to do that. So I really think it's going to be sort of like, to a sense, a wake-up call of realization about that. So let me see. Simplicity. That's right. Things are really actually simple in life. We want to make it complicated, especially if somebody tells us, oh yeah, I want to be with you, just A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Like, it has to happen, right? And then you're going to go, look, I'm Aries, dude. Why don't we just remove B, C, D and all this other crap? This has to happen for me. Is this happening or it's not happening? And it's going to be just like that. And they might say no, but at least, you know, released, you know where to basically keep going. So guys, list for all fire signs. Very, very important. Okay, so we did fire, we did earth, and we didn't do air, and we didn't do water. So who do I go for first? Air or water? Air or water? Air or water? Who do I do this? Look at this. People are nudging me toward water. So I had water. Okay, let's do water. Water. Let's do water. Water for this week. 12th to the 18th. Water. Stay optimistic about your love life. Lovely. Positive thinking. So does that mean that you were not really positive recently, if this is showing up? Oops, this one was, wow, you got universe as well. I don't know, guys, if you're dealing with earth signs, but this is not just earth signs. You might be dealing with Scorpio, also another Scorpio, because water has Scorpio in it, with Aquarius, Taurus, and Leo. That actually can talk about, you know, maybe connection to some extent. Again, it is a karma accomplished. Maybe you are like looking to meet somebody, and that looks very, very promising. My goodness. So this is really bizarre. We just did fire. So it's kind of really interesting here, because it does have fire signs here included as well. So it could be some kind of like clearing the karma over here as well. All right, so since Scorpio is a part of the universe card, let's start with Scorpios first. There goes Scorpio. So what's in for Scorpio? Woo. The Tower, and this is your card. Good lordy, guys. You know what? There is like intensity. Scorpio, it's almost like a master number. They never do stuff sort of like half-heartedly. You want to drive the car? Step on it. You want to live life? Step on it. You want to love? Step on it. You want to hate? Step on it. So the Tower card is really telling me that there is like something that is going to happen, and in order for you to go to that next stage, that is sort of like going to be maybe shake down. And it's not necessarily that your house is going to burn down. It might. I'm just kidding, but it's going to be significant to kind of like feel, gosh, right? And it's going to show you the error of your own ways. So that's where we people can show if we are smart, because every single one of us thinks that we are really smarter than him or her, right? So there is like what they call a Dunning-Kruger effect, when they realize that people sometimes overcompensate their own kind of like beliefs and what they are doing. So it is kind of like really important to understand that is Julie over here online? I don't know. Getting just a note for it from her. This is really telling me that you are going to get it in perspective, right? So I used to think I'm so freaking smart. And then I realized, oh my God, I was like really embarrassing myself by doing that, instead of kind of like realizing that I can actually really learn stuff. And that's going to be one of those situations over here. Look at Temperance, like typical Scorpio. Yay, Tower. Most of us will go, oh, and Scorpio goes, bring it on, kind of a thing, right? So here, let me see, Kin. Thank you, Kat. I have more perspective and feel a little bit more confident in my decision. I will lead my life with best intention. Yeah, yay, yay, yay. Leo in the house. So here we are talking about you guys are rebuilding something. Maybe you need to take 2 steps back, right? So you took that left turn, and somebody looks like going in reverse outside. You took the left turn, and now, oh my God, I'm lost. Let's go back and let's rebuild it. So this is really good kind of like way out of some kind of like situation. I kind of like it, right? This is definitely going into feeling enthusiastic, because this adds to 19, and 19 is the house. Yes, the house of the sun, which again goes back to optimistic. So guys, you know, this is a really good week for planting seeds, and certain things will occur to you if your path is supposed to go differently. So, you know, when we do planning and we do everything, and then something kind of like starts, like you want to travel and then you have a flat tire. And then you realize, oh my goodness, like, you know, like, I mean, something happened, an accident. That's kind of like one of those weeks for you. And here you have also understanding, and I really feel this is really self-understanding over here. Thank you, Amy. It's very nice. Air sign. Ooh, I like the crystal ball and thingies. Ooh, thank you very much. So what do we do next? We go with Pisces. Let's go Pisces, 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 Pisces. And sorry guys, going so quick today because I need to go to Niagara Falls. I'm doing the floors in my dad's house, so need to supervise Pisces. Look at that. So Pisces, as much as I've seen Leo over here, sometimes with Scorpio, I see with Pisces, maybe Sagittarius, maybe Aquarius, strongly coming through. For you guys, it seems like situation was different. You kind of like, it looks like you might have somebody in your life, or you feel that someone in your life is not a strong, lasting force. As if somebody's just there to in and out. They kind of like, they sufficiently motivate you to stick around, but insufficiently motivate you to be happy. And there is like this essence, and look at these both cards with jugs, right? One being an angel and one being human. So which one do you prefer? To kind of go in angelic realm and kind of like really wonder how, you know, things can be resolved, or just going a human around and just like realize, well, this is who I am. I am this way. Right now we are dealing with now. Sure, can I change? Can I heal? Can I do better? Yes, but I really need time, and I need kind of like really trust myself. But those of them are reversing. So it's almost like what feel maybe you're really kind of like struggling to push yourself forward to this situation. Maybe you cannot justify yourself to do something anymore. Maybe somebody, you know, like, I mean, sometimes you're really happy to see somebody and then you're happy for 2 hours because they might have just a booty call kind of idea in their own head where you don't. And then what basically happens, then you're very unhappy for days after that. So you are really, really feeling kind of, you know, different over here. And you're realizing that that length of time of happiness doesn't measure up with the length of time of unhappiness, and there is like that push for you. So while for Scorpios this can come sudden, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, I was so wrong about that, and that shows huge maturity. For you, it's going to go through really different venues. It's going to be like examining your passion and how upset you are about the situation. Also, if you're continuously mulling over in your head some thoughts that, you know, you just don't want to have it. But since this is saying stay optimistic about your love life, this is also saying, look, you actually can move forward and somebody might be coming in your life. As I said, Aquarius and Sagittarius, keep an eye on those two signs. When I see two of them together, both of us, me being Aquarian, we kind of have the tendency to be very fleeting until, you know, you prove to be a friend, kind of a thing. So this may be not something that works for you right now. You want somebody concrete. You want somebody who is going to really cheer you up. You really don't want to be in that state of flux. And it could be just somebody who is like that. So move carefully, move slowly. But I'm going to tell you, somebody is going to be very interesting here. That's for sure. So let me see your, should Sag keep an eye for Pisces? Yes, that is definitely connecting with Sag over here. I would say, and Sag is coming out twice, both King, Knight of Rods and Temperance. But when Temperance reverses, something is not lining up, right? So, you know, like stars have to line up in order for certain things to work. And there's like still talking about some healing or something. So something is out of alignment, but there's something is still very positive in the situation. So let me just see. What do we see? Did I not say healing? There is like a healing that needs to take place. Some of you think that healing is the presence of somebody, and maybe this kind of like you felt, just if this happens, everything will be fine. But there is like some realization of a shift. Like you guys, water signs will have a big shift this week, and it's going to bring the sense of healing. It's going to bring the sense of enthusiasm. Something maybe that was too painful to address, it can be addressed. Or this actually can talk about physical healing as well. That may be something that maybe couldn't send you in the direction where you needed to go. Now it is done that way. And who I didn't do? Pisces, I did it. Scorpio, Cancer. Let's do Cancer. 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 Cancer for this week. Cancer for this week. Cancer. Oops. What? Ooh. Why is this? Why is this? Let me just grab all of that because it really wanted to talk. So Cancer is getting spirit privilege over here, I would say. Let me just have a sip of coffee. Hi, Kalima. Yes, Stephanie, meditating is really important. So what do we have? We have a Swords, Ace of Pentacles. This is like a master reading for you. The Sun, the King of Rods, Page of Rods, and Eight of Cups. Cancer, your reading was very interesting, monthly reading. It was sort of like that somebody did a number on you. I can see that. There is like something that is from the past. Maybe this was even you, that you had to kind of like do a decision which is really, really hard. For example, you go to Humane Society shelter and you want to adopt all the cats and doggies over there, and you can't. And that's kind of like that feeling that you bring one, but you're still feeling Ugh, I feel bad. But there is like, that's something from the past. I really think it can talk about the way of thinking. It can talk about relationships over here. It can talk about your children as well. But there is like some kind of like new movement. Look at that. It's kind of like moving it forward. You guys might be actually meeting somebody. Be very careful about this King of Rods. This King of Rods is like one of those people who is so much fun to be around. Look here, there was a Knight of Rods, and here's the King of Rods. I don't know if you guys are dealing with Leos, because that both cards would signify a Leo, or clearly lots of fire that you have over here. It can actually really talk, not seeing eye to eye certain things. It can really talk about somebody going in a different direction. Somebody might be very interesting, and you might feel, you know, there is a complete lack of maturity in the situation, but at the same time, I'm going to feel, you know, this is so much fun. Kind of like, let me enjoy the ride. You might be going back to somebody who you have been with whom you experienced maybe a three-party situation, or somebody who really didn't want to commit. Well, good news or bad news, they still don't want to commit. The good news is like you have dealt with this already, and right now, like if you really want something, as I see over here, you want something strong and solid where you can really build your life with, you need to also know how to eliminate certain things. So if this person still kind of like wants to kind of like talk a big game, and yeah, I want you and I want to be with you and I'll marry you and let's do things, and kind of a hardcore press, but they don't kind of like follow it through, you need to insist on this. Look, this is really important for me to know. It almost looks like it's emotional conclusion that you are kind of like reaching about that. And it is, look, you know, poo or get off the pot. I really need to know where we are going. For those of you who you might meet somebody new over here, just put it in perspective. This person can come with a baggage. This person can have a child, especially a boy child I see here, that could be really difficult to deal with, which means maybe they have issues with somebody else and they're right now on the prowl. Kind of like keep that in perspective over here, guys. But maybe this simply means, look, you're recognizing the old patterns, and that's what your universe means. Sometimes you're clearing these old patterns, and it is time, because the same situations might actually reappear, but you really want to move them forward. Well, thank you, Dean, Mr. Chariot 777, 3 chariots. Ooh, and you got not one, but what, 4? Cancer, you're really getting lots of cards. So education, maybe it means that you need to learn more about somebody or something. Maybe somebody is going to sit you down, or you are going to sit down to ask questions to understand. Harmony is going to be very important, and we do see that in the cards as well. But yeah, as I said, power and commitment. And Leo kind of like gives you that feeling, oh my God, I really want to kind of like do this and stuff. But you need to question them if they're really ready. You know, my mom always said her method to teach me how to find a man in my life, which really never worked because I was clearly an idiot. She said, push them away. Push them away again, push them away again, then tell them, you know, like you have something weird, and push them away, push them away. If they're still standing, marry them. They're definitely there for you. They are not going to be pushed away in the kind of like wrong times. So that's looks like something like that you'll be doing this week. It's maybe somebody who wants to come back and say no, 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 and you really want to see not only instantaneous gratification, but something that actually can work long term. Cancer, these are big messages. You're going to have I wouldn't say intense week, but very eventful week that is going to revolve around who am I, who I want to commit to, are these people around me worthy of my time, or like, I mean, where do I really want to invest things? Because you kind of like coming up with this, I want to build something really, really long term in this particular year. So this was like really intense reading for water, and we only didn't do air. Air, playing hard to get. somebody might play very easy to get, but pretending they're not easy. You know, like how we always hear the story, oh hon, you're my second one, or yeah, I would never do that. The next thing you heard, whole bunch of stuff. That's kind of interesting. Okay, where is my air over here? Air, guys, please thumbs up or thumbs down, wherever suits you. I honestly, I have to say, I don't care, but I look at it, so I kind of like can improve. And my apologies for today rushing through it, because my dad, I think, is developing dementia and Alzheimer's. And even though before he could do anything, mechanical work, housework, now he thinks he can, but he messes things severely. So it costs me like 5 times more to undo it. So I have to go there and supervise. And that's where the rush is, because it still takes me about an hour and a half to get to Niagara Falls. Whew. Air, Libra, Libra, Libra. We have Aquarius. Ooh, Libra, Moon, and Venus in Aquarius. You have the stuff. Keep an open mind. Oh my gosh, that's music to air ears. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. So, yeah, it's very typical. Nothing new. Give me something new. Air is very open-minded. Air likes exploration. Air likes challenge. Air likes learning. So, it's really good. This also means that air is finally opening up these petals. They're ready to keep going stuff. And this one also jumped. Intuition. Intuition reverse is meaning that intuition can actually fool you over here. So air will have to rely on their best facilities, on their thoughts, on their processing. If you feel, oh my gosh, this person shouldn't, like, this person doesn't sound good on a paper, but I feel so good, you're making a wrong decision, like really clearly. So this is really talking about, look, you don't trust your gut feeling here this particular week. Just keep an open mind. You don't have to shun them. You don't have to tell them to just get lost. Just simply kind of like observe. That's why it said keep an open mind, but give them a rope and see if they're going to hang themselves, right? Kind of like ask lots of questions, get to know the person. That's how air bonds with people. Kind of like, hey, can we talk about things? Can we get along? And that kind of like sort of things, right? So that's kind of like, thanks, Temperance. I really appreciate that. I was there on Thursday, and it was like actually lovely. It was like really heart touching, because he was like the good old dad, and I didn't see a slip for one instant. So it was really lovely. So I don't know if it's going to be today, and how is this even possible that he goes in and out of reality, but I'm counting good days. So who do we go with first? Aquarius, 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 Aquarius. Thank you guys, you're so sweet. You're so sweet. You know, that's why I made the decision. Look, you know, you're not going to upset me. He's getting to the point of throwing things at me, calling me names, completely out of his character, right? And it's really sad after you kind of like go so far and do it for them. You just have to realize the brain is shrinking, and especially the parts that govern empathy and understanding for the others. So it is really painful. The most painful part is that I'll have to remember him this way. So hence, when we have good moments, I truly savor them. All right, Aquarius, 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 Aquarius. Thank you guys for all your good thoughts. It really means so much to me that somebody's there, kind of like that I have a soft place to fall if I have to. And I'll be probably crying my eyes out at some point over here with all of you. So actually, I cannot spend a lot of time with him, Emmy, because trust me, it's almost like walking on a minefield. It's in the middle of the conversation, he switches and he became vicious. So I'm rather kind of like now having the attitude, like, you're not going to irritate me, and if you do anything, I'm leaving. So it looks like that's working. So I know, and that's exactly Barbie. I went to a doctor with him, and we're going next week again on Wednesday. So it is the time that he has to go to home, and he doesn't want to. So Aries, the Empress came through, which is lovely. It is like feeling in the bottom of your heart that you're doing the right thing. It is about kindness. And this is going to look really interesting because that's a parent-child relationship, and it does show some disconnect. But Aquarius is going to feel really rich in what they can do, what they can offer. It's going to be the people who get readings from me, they're going to be very, very happy next week. Aquarius is, again, leaving behind things that really didn't make Aquarians happy, or other people who interfered, who kind of really bothered. I mean, that's also a trap for all air signs, being an open-minded, and then you deal with someone, you give them all the possibilities, all the rope, and they really kind of like hang themselves. But in this case, like, this is such a strong card, and we being in a year number 3, it is like really good stuff. Aquarius is going to be extremely happy this year. I mean, the happiest sign from all signs. Let me knock it 3 times, because honestly, it was not easy, I guess, if you're Aquarius, you know, and this is going to kind of like almost reach a whole bunch of stuff. So all these kind of like things where we didn't feel comfortable with, when we felt maybe we are like fighting for something, and just like always and always and always somebody pulled the rug under our feet. You know, you're playing a card game and you lose and you lose, and you go, oh my gosh, like, I mean, why am I doing that to myself? But you know what, things are changing. Things are changing, but we need to rely, like, I mean, into what we think, and maybe kind of like get ourselves out of tricky situation without sacrificing who we are, without sacrificing the kindness, without sacrificing this whole wealth of giving ourselves to basically everybody. I always said Aquarian doesn't belong to one person, it belongs to everybody. And where is the angel card? The angel card, angel card. Angel card. Barbie, it is your turn. Barbie, you can send me your request, my moderator for a reading. So please fill the form, you know the form, and also the winner that Temperance is going to do has to fill the same form. And my brother has to create special form for the winner, and I forgot to send him all this info, so it is my fault, not his fault. So let's go with Libra. Let's go with Libra. Ooh, Libra, of course. Look at these Librans cards. And again, we have a bundle. So there you have Libra. There is like this 2, and your card in tarot is number 11, Justice. And 1 and 1 in 11 is 2. So you're clearly relating to these cards that are numbered 2. You also have Knight of Cups reversed, Hermit reversed. Did you guys barricaded yourself in, and you want to go forward, but you want somebody to come back, or you are kind of like mulling it over some kind of like old situations. You're getting older but not wiser, kind of a thing that I see over here. It is kind of like one of those weeks that is going to change everything. And you know how? Because you're getting this King of Swords, and you're getting like this 2 of Swords. So you're going to feel like still the same. You don't want to move forward, or you don't know how to move forward, or it is same old and same old. You're literally going to get tired of that. You're going to say kind of like no more. This is kind of like the week where things are kind of like lining up, and you're going to force decision. You're going to say, at this stage, any decision is better than no decision, because people have these 2 modes: decision, or good decision, or no decision. But with you guys, you're going into, you know what, I'm choosing something, because I cannot stand on that intersection any longer. I just cannot wait for certain things to happen. So I have to accept myself the way I am, how I am, and not only will I keep an open mind, so if I can do it, the other people can do it. It's going to be lots of things, lots of kind of like clearance over here. So anything emotional this particular week is going to feel rough for, looks like, air signs. But anything that goes through head, how we usually process things, was going to be okay. King of Swords is basically Libra. King of Swords is about, okay, let me just figure out what is the right thing to do over here. Not only just for me, but for everybody. I love King of Swords. It's kind of like a judge that you really want to find, judge that you really want to kind of like say, hey, you know I have lost money, but I lost this envelope. It really doesn't cost any money, but it means so much to me because I got it from my mother, and it's the only thing that I have left. And it's somebody who can actually understand, you know, how you perceive that values. So you guys are actually maybe also willing or able to talk to somebody this particular week who will, you know, kind of like move things really forward for you. And maybe that's why you're going to be enthused to kind of like, hey, let's make some kind of like decision. And it's going to be rather quick. It might be even really early in the week, like let's say by Monday. And enthusiasm, yeah. You know what? I think this is what you were lacking. You were kind of like stuck in the rut. You were stuck in the same processes, and now it is going to be Turbo Libra. Oh my goodness, like my brother has a Libra kiddo, and she's like that wound out bunny all the time. And the psychologist from the school pulled them aside, and she has 160 IQ, which is extremely high, which is a good and a bad news. And so she is able to irritate people who are like in their 40s and stuff with her arguments. It is like absolutely amazing. But she's never still. It just keeps going around. And I kind of like really like to see for all of you Librans over here, and it kind of like does feel cleaning the old crap, kind of like stop the old, get in the new. Very, very positive. So that's lovely over here. Who did I forget from the air? Geminis. Like something happened to my sweetie Lati. I have to really see that she's okay. And Gemini. Let's all send good thoughts and good wishes to Lati for a second, because this is really not her. Very reliable, and this time something off, and I even didn't get email from her. So it could be either the internet, which I hope it is, or something really happened, which now I'm freaked out. You see, I decided not to get freaked out, so I'm going to process it through my head, be kind and be giving, as this basically says. Okay, let's go. Gemini. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Knight of Rods, everything reversed. Four of Rods, 10 of Pentacles. There's like something about relationship. There's like something about family. This is like a whole bunch of things piling up. This could be the end of relationship with someone that just simply doesn't fit in a family, that doesn't fit the concept. And the family can mean your parents or your children or both, right? Like sometimes we meet wonderful people. That's what I say, stars really need to align. But these wonderful people just, you know, have their own methods. I have a friend who found this guy, and she was getting along really well with him, but she is Russian, and I don't know what the heck he is. I don't know, some background, regular background, waspy background, Canadian. And so she brought her mother, and her mother came, and mother could speak only Russian, and she was cooking all that Russian food with cabbage and all the stuff. And he would always say, and this is like horrible insult when you do that to especially Europeans, or especially to Eastern Europeans. Oh, I hate this food, it's disgusting, right? It's kind of like all this effort is really poo-pooed, and he just couldn't really, continue. And then the kid, her kid was starting to draw him as a devil, and the psychologist called her into school. So I guess that didn't really work out well. eventually he was asked to move out. So that kind of like looks like that, and I'm really, really sorry. Don't say that. Of course it isn't without Lati, but that's why I have all of you have your Gemini. Like, I mean, I am sure that I'm just worrying for no reason that something really stupid happened, right? And like, I mean, maybe she had guests, and she has guests, and she also deals with an elderly mother, right? Yeah, right, Dean? Like, I mean, I felt this is insulting. I spoke to him and I said to him, you know, like, I mean, in Europe, you're not even supposed to refuse the food even if you're full, because that's actually rude. Just like have few bites, you can do it, right? No, he just kind of like didn't want to do it. So I guess he had to be on his own. So something like this, unfortunately, I see over here. So it's going to be keep an open mind, but I really have to say it's going to be some kind of like atmosphere that could be a little bit disturbing. It could be issues at home. It could be issues simply that you're reassessing somebody, how they behave toward you. And it's going to feel sort of like the tons of bricks are falling on your head, because you kind of like really were hopeful. So now when I see Knight of Rods here, which actually does represent Sagittarius reverse, it can actually represent Gemini. So it could be another Gemini, it could be really you, that you're feeling at odds right now, or, you know, maybe you're like directionless. Maybe that's all this means. Let's see the angel cards, right? It is Italian as well, so that's right, Dean. Like, I mean, and I actually really like about it, because Europeans put a huge preference, huge impact on how you socialize with people. And I think it's not only Europeans, but like, I mean, you can see in the groups here, like Black people are also very kind of a community oriented. It is just like in Canada, and I don't know how it's in the US. Sometimes, especially maybe because they live in a big city, you don't even know your neighbors. And there is like not sense of, you know, doing things for each other. Tenderness. And look at this like black kitty. You know, black kitty, the first thing that I saw here was not just like an angel petting kitty. I saw, you know, somebody really needing to take you under their wing, needing to take care of you, needing to, maybe you're feeling that you needed to be very strong, and the strength was not getting you anywhere, and you're asking yourself how much longer. And now you're feeling like, okay, so, you know, sometimes we all feel that sometimes I'm inadequate, I don't have this. People always feel I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, right? It's never like, it's never ending story. And here it's like literally you need somebody who, you are saying, I really need somebody to take care of me, to give me that break, to give me that soft place to fall. And almost like looks like this week will be really, really hard on more levels than one, in relationships, on the home front, in kind of like direction that you're going. So make sure, because look, the swords didn't come through over here, and they did in the other two signs. Make sure you don't make drastic decisions, you don't start pushing forward, and you do not allow your family to really destroy your week, which kind of like can mean. And if this is some kind of like relationship with somebody that really needs to end, then, you know, make sure that this is kind of like done in a tender way. And if they are not willing to do that, if this is happening to you in that way, then you have to be able, and your air sign, and I can talk to you like this, to understand this is them, it is really not you, and just leave it on that. So yeah, I really don't like Gemini's reading over here. Let me just grab one more card and see what we see. Honesty. Well, you know, sometimes people say, well, I just tell as it is. That's horrible. You can say what you need to say, like I say it, but you need to package it in a way that people can understand. Like, even when I render things that they're not the nicest things that will happen, I do tell you like sort of like which possibilities you have as a way out, right? So honesty without, you know, diplomacy is cruelty, right? So that's why I see this tenderness, which is kind of like that thing. Maybe you need to be honest with yourself, that you're maybe doing things that continuously is getting you in trouble. That also could be one of those interpretation. So yes, George, it has to be digestible, because I'm not one of those readers that's always going to give rosy tales just because people will then contact me for a reading because, hey, you know, am I getting back with so and so, and then I say good things. This never happens. Okay, you make people good in the moment, but you don't really help them heal and move forward in a better direction. So that's why it is. Oh, Sibyl Hill, they are here. Maybe Japan is the thing you need more if you clean your plate and keep bringing you food. Oh my gosh, I know, like, you know, I really dread these European dinners and stuff, because I also don't like eating, especially, you know, Eastern Europeans, and I'm Croatian, eat some really weird stuff that I don't eat anymore. For example, I don't really enjoy eating pork, and the entire diet is pork. And then you just like grin and bear, right? It's just like, yeah, thank you, it's so lovely, yeah, it's beautiful. You know, you do all the stuff that you need to do. Thank you guys, this is it. I'm going to start packing up, and look at that, this looks so lovely when I talk to people from different kind of like, so look, there's like something we all have in common. So I guess when people don't behave this way, there was like maybe something that basically upbringing was not great. So Temperance, now it is your turn. Have you decided who you're going to give a private reading? So all eyes are on to you. Oh, you pick Kylie, awesome. Kylie, did you put your email here? And give me the form here. Congratulations, Kylie. Actually, good for you. I was kind of like picking up your energies. The Temperance did a really good stuff. So Kylie, put here the email. I'm going to just, I mean, I know your email, so actually you don't. I know who you are. So just send me the request and give me about 7 days to get back to you. And for the rest of you guys, thank you so much. Thank you for your donations. Always appreciated. Thank you so much. I'm hoping that next week, with the exception of Wednesday, I'm not here. I'll be actually finally doing the X series, resume with that. So for those of you who maybe have questions like that, that would be awesome. So guys, if you didn't do thumbs up or thumbs down, thank you. I see it. I'm going to hide it. So please send me that form and we will deal with that. Have a safe week, everybody. Thanks, Temperance. I'll do that. And I usually drive like a lunatic, honestly. I like racing, so I drive 170. I don't know what is this in miles, 120. And of course, you can lose your license and everything. But today I'm going to enjoy the sun that is speaking out and drive slower. So thanks, everybody, for your time, guys. I'm going to put the music so you can say goodbye to each other. And you can still kind of like enjoy each other for a minute or so. And then, until the next week, you know that I love you. All the best, guys. Guys, let's start our weekend. Let's have a good one. All the best. Love you.